Welcome back to my channel, Spray to Pixels. How you guys doing? Hope you guys had an awesome week. I just wanted to say thank you guys for your support. Thanks for the likes. They really mean a lot to me. So keep that up. I really appreciate that. It's not costing you anything. It's free. Click takes you a couple seconds. So no major skin off your guys' back. So I'm like, I'm not asking for memberships or Patreon or anything. Just giving free stuff out, free information, my free time. Free. Just it's all free. So I'm not in a place where I need money or need to like monetize. So I'm kind of just doing this for fun. I'm doing it to be give back to my community, give back to the world, and to just share my experiences, my life experiences, and just basically let share some knowledge and let you know what I've been up to, and let you know what I'm doing and where I'm going, and where I came from. So that's the basis of my channel basically. But yes, so say thanks again, guys. I appreciate you. Again, keep those likes coming. And share the video with your friends and family if you really enjoy it. Anyways, I just want to have a couple things to talk about or mention. And yes, I'm still working for the animation studios. I've got a 4-year contract, so we're good for the next 4 years. After that I'm not sure, but that's kind of what's happening with that. And then we're going to be working from the lot, I believe, from a Disney lot. So that's going to be a new experience because I never worked on this lot, they have other productions there. So that's going to be interesting as well. It's like a campus, Disney campus. So that's going to be interesting. So that's new things that are happening in my life. I moved about 3.5 years ago to a different neighborhood. I own my other house. I sold it and I bought another house. So I upgraded basically, is what you could say. I just felt like the yard was kind of small. Basically it was fine for the moment, but as time went on, I felt like I kind of ran out of space, and I wanted more space to grow into, and I really wanted a nice art studio and stuff like that, instead of like renting a space, having my own space. So I'm kind of currently working on getting my garage up to par. There's still boxes in there from moving that I haven't gone through and that I need to sort out. So eventually we'll show you guys that once I believe the studio is ready to be seen. Right now it's kind of like a hodgepodge of just like storage, what do you call it, art supplies, just a lot of boxes and crates, things like that. But I'll be doing that as well to kind of go through it. Maybe I'll show you guys later some footage on that, but that's something else I'm working on. Oops, excuse me. Yes, so that's definitely a project, the garage. And if you guys ever had a garage, you know that you accumulate stuff over time and then you kind of forget about it. And I'm like, all right, I need to start sorting this out. I'm a big book collector, so I have about 1,000 books, and I don't have the storage for them anymore. So I'm like, I have to get creative in how I wanted to have a library. I was like, oh, when I get older, I want to have this library of different books I've collected over the years, some collector items, some just books to read, a lot of art books, because I was collecting a lot of reference books, because when I was in art school I always had a library and stuff back then to check out a book, to like look at it, study it, read it, and take reference from it. And that's how I got trained. So in my head, when I got out of art school and I started working, I always went to a Barnes and Noble or Borders and bought a book, like every weekend, like I buy a book. And because I thought it was cool. It might have been on lettering, might have been on like tree houses or whatever, anything creative, fun, or just informative. And I would just collect it. It was on sale, I'd buy it. And so I create this huge library of books, knowledge, and I still love it. Sometimes I'll go through. I have a small section that's out, and I'll go through those. I'm like, these are cool, but having the time to read is really been hard and challenging for me because I work long hours, and and then now I'm working on my social media, and I work on the house. I'm gonna start working on my old car, and there's like always something to do, and like I'll read it here and there. It's almost faster just to watch a documentary to get information, or go on YouTube, or go on some kind of platform and get the information, than to like look for the book and then try to look through it and read it. So yeah, it's been interesting, but I still enjoy it. I enjoy that, having a library. I think my goal one day is to actually have a room designated for books only, and that's my goal. Hopefully that'll happen one day. Anyways, so enough of the book thing. But anyway, so this today I wanted to touch on something else that not my garage, but something else. When I went to Comic-Con, I was able to speak to some artists, and I found out. I mean, I heard already that it was pretty challenging to find work out there in the studios, because they were like switching everything up, and the work had dried up for a lot of places. But a place that was still going strongest was Netflix, because there was one guy this is his first time working in-house, because he was freelancer, and now he was working for Netflix, and he said, well, they work is pretty hard. He had never worked so hard, in his life. He was kind of trying to tell me like it was pretty challenging working for a studio, because now it was like non-stop work. And I was like, yeah, I've been doing that, for my entire career, so it's like when you work for them, there's no slacking off, so yeah, he definitely, had a rude awakening, and was mentioning that. There was another artist, he was a storyboard artist, he was out of work, so he was always doing his own thing, just doing little sculptures and stuff, and they were cool, and selling those. And yeah, because he was having a hard time finding work. And then another artist who's older, and he's been in the industry for a long time, and he's done really well. And I heard of him a long time ago, and he was telling me a lot of his friends are out of work, a lot of his peers, and it's like basically it's tough out there working in any animation field, artist field. So he's like, like, hold on to your job, he's like don't take it for granted. And I'm like, wow, because I think for after a while you kind of do, you're like, oh, I've been here 30 years. You're like, I haven't been there 30 years. I've been there 14 years. So that's what so it does happen. I could see that and stuff. Luckily I still have a really good work ethic. Like, I'm not a slacker. I like my work to speaks for itself, yeah, I do make mistakes, like we all do. We're human. If I get tired or burnt out on something, I do make a mistake here or there, but I try to correct my mistakes, and I try to catch it before others see it. I think the hard part about my job is when you're multitasking, like you're working on something and you're kind of in it, and you're kind of like basically know everything, like all the walls are at, where all the furniture is at, and then somebody throws you something like, hey, I got a retake, I got to take you out of this to do something else, and then oh, hey, we have a note from another show, can you do this too right after that? So then your brain kind of gets a little bit out of focus, because now you're taken out of this element, this world that you're working on, this environment, and now you have to kind of recalibrate to figure out what this needs and what that's about, and then what that's about, what over here, what they need. And there's kind of like a rush time, because oh, they need this right away, or this needs by the end of the day. So you don't have a lot of time to really analyze everything or go back into the history of things. So you kind of just take the information that's given to you, and you go, oh, okay, and you just kind of like go for it. And sometimes either they made a mistake, or something wasn't explained right, or it's not what they were thinking, or the note wasn't clear, and then you get it wrong, and I'm like, oh man. So it's like, that happens a lot with that, when you're kind of like juggling multiple things. I feel like I don't have in my mode is like, get this done, now I gotta wrap that up as fast as possible. So I will work with the information I have to knock it out. There's like no time to really like, ask every single individual involved, what do you need? What's this? Blah, blah. It's like, you just go like, okay, this is the note. This is the information that I'm told. And now I'm going to execute it to get it out because they need it immediately. And then I'm gonna go back to my regular show because time is being removed from that. And I find that the hardest when it's that. When I'm just focused on the show by itself and I'm like knocking out every background and hooking it up together, it's not a big deal. But when I'm juggling multiple things, that's when my brain gets kind of scattered. I guess I wanted to share that with you guys because, making sure you guys don't beat yourselves up if you feel like sometimes you're scattered brain or you're burnt out or you get tired or frustrated for different reasons. It's like, it's normal, and just don't let it get to you. You know what I mean? It's easier said than done. Especially when you like work long hours, you're exhausted, and you start getting a thin skin. So someone says something, does something, throws something at you. It's almost like you're more sensitive, to it because your emotions are heightened, and you could easily get upset about it quicker. I feel, but just try not to. Try to stay focused on the task. Take a deep breath. Something I find that helps me, especially lately. I actually knew this already from a long time ago. When I used to work out a lot, I got really good shape, and it was really a stress reliever. You know what I mean? I don't drink or do substances or anything, so just working out, I release so much stress and anxiety. And I'm getting back into that. I've been walking. I do about 3 mile hike in my neighborhood. It's all hills, so it's really good. So, and I've been, eating healthier as well. A lot of veggies and protein. And I also, basically, when I don't walk, say it's too hot or too cold or too late, whatever it may be, I end up doing a yoga. And I noticed that helps my muscles like strengthen and tone and feel a little more, flexible as well. I kind of ease into the pain because my job is very stagnant. I stand sometimes, I'll sit. Most of it's sitting. I might sit 80% of the time and I'll stand 20% of the time. So a lot of those muscles kind of get worked over and over again. And I feel like when I do yoga, I definitely release a lot of the tension and the stress and tightness in my body, and I feel much better after like an hour of yoga. I feel like I'm walking on cloud 9 here, So if you ever feel a lot of stress, you don't know what to do, I know some people turn to beer or something like that, but I say just do yoga for an hour. Start with 20 minutes if your body's not used to it, because you will be sore. And then go to 30 minutes, and then 40, and then 50, and then an hour, and you'll feel great. I think even 20 minutes you'll feel pretty good. Not as good as 45 minutes to an hour, but I recommend you start with that. The walking gets my heart rate up, works my legs because it's all like uphill, and I definitely get my heart rate up. If it's warm, I start sweating. So it's really good. It's not high impact. It's not like running, but it's better for your knees, hiking, and your glutes, legs. So just try those two combinations are working for me. In the old days, I used to lift a lot of weights, and I did yoga. I did both of them. Now I'm more doing like push-ups and sit-ups, lunges, things like that. Just things that my body can handle, because I don't want to do heavy weights, because I hear as you get older, you start to pull muscles or you start having injuries, and I don't really want to have any injuries. I really can't afford to have any injuries because my work is, it's like I feel like I have to keep going, I have to keep producing, and I don't want to be out. It's like being out of a game. Like, oh, you got an injury, you can't play. I want to play. So as long as I could play, I want to play. So yeah, so the reason I wanted to mention that is because I know that in animation, it's a very high stress job, and being an artist is a high stress job. So when you have to produce, I feel that puts a lot of pressure. You're not just kind of like, oh, I'll feel like it or don't feel like it. It's like you have to produce. So those who know that when you're in that state of mind, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. So, people do stress eating or other things to kind of like help with that, help balance yourself. So they're not always the healthiest choices that we make. I'm guilty of that myself. So that's why I'm kind of at a point right now where I want to do a healthier lifestyle and be more conscious of it, be aware of that what I'm doing is just hurting myself. So instead of doing that, do positive things. Like I said, walking is great, hiking is great, yoga is great. You could do jogging and all that if your knees can support you. As you get, when you're young, it's fine. You could do anything. You could have all kinds of injuries. When you get older, it's like it starts to get challenging. Certain things are getting challenging. So you have to be aware of that. We think we're invincible where we're not. Yeah, so I just want to tell you guys, don't fold under stress or pressure or anxiety. Just stay positive, stay focused on the goal, what you're trying to achieve, and don't give up. I know I've been there. I had those feelings while I was at Art Center. I had those feelings, while in different studios, or it's just like way too overwhelming, way too much pressure, and you're just exhausted. You're just kind of like mentally and physically exhausted. And I think that's the difference between the winner and the losers, is that the winners just keep going, even if they're fatigued, even if they're wiped out, even if they're, like beyond burnt out. They just keep going. That's how you finish the race. If you quit, you never finish the race. And that's kind of what I want to, leave you guys with, is more of a, stay positive, even under bad situations. Don't fall apart. Snap out of it. If you're emotionally compromised, try to wake up and, okay, what do I need to do? How do I fix this? How do I get out of this situation? That has helped me throughout my life. I'm not always listen. I have not always listened to it, but I try to use, that kind of mentality where before I get caught up in a situation and let my emotions drive me, I try to think, how do I get out of this, or what is this going to lead me to? And that will stop you from going into spiraling deeper into the rabbit hole, or spiraling down out of control. It's like you'll be able to snap out of it. So I wanted to leave you guys with that, just want to touch base with you guys and let you know what I'm up to, what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, and how to help you guys, stay positive. I've had a lot of negative people come in my life, I usually pick up on it pretty quickly. If I feel drained around them, or if they're always talking about other people like all the time, and then they see that person and they smile and shake hands and like, let's hang out kind of thing. I don't know, I call it that Hollywood side where it's fake, smile, but behind them they have a dagger. I don't like that. I don't like that kind of personality. I don't get along with that personality. I just feel like it's very sneaky and very like superficial, very fake, very over the surface. It's like it's not even real because they're just pretending to like you. And I just like to be genuine. I just feel like I want to be a genuine person. So if I don't like you, I'll let you know, or I just don't, mess with you. I don't have time for negative energy in my life. I don't have time to be drained because I'm already drained enough from my life and things I do, for my work. I have to stay focused. So I don't have more energy to give away. If anything, this is my giving away, this energy right here, interacting with you guys. So I don't have extra to give. So when someone's very fake and very Hollywood, I can't be around that. I just can't. I don't know if it's because I didn't grow up in Hollywood, because I grew up in the Bay Area, or if it's who I am as a person. I just can't be around fakeness. It like irritates me. It's weird. It's like when you hear someone scratch their nails across a chalkboard. If you guys still have chalkboards, in the old school days it was chalkboard, and it's that screeching sound, the nails going across the chalkboard. That's for me dealing with fake people. I just can't. I gotta leave. I just gotta go. I just can't take it. So yeah, anyways, and we're all different, but that's just me. And so I choose not to be around that. It's very draining. So if you feel someone's draining you, whatever it is, you might need to like break away from them, to get a break, do your own thing. Do something that brings you joy. Do something that brings you happiness. Do something that recharges your batteries. And if that person's a really close friend of yours, maybe have a conversation about that. Well, that'll conclude this vlog. I just want to say thank you for your likes and your views. I appreciate it. If you like to share it with someone who you feel needs a little bit of inspiration, feel free to share it. Anyway, so thanks again for coming to my channel, for supporting me and giving me likes. I appreciate that. It means the world to me. And if you feel you want to share it, with somebody who might need some inspiration, feel free to share with anyone you'd like. I just want to say thank you, and I hope you guys have an amazing week. Take care of yourselves, and I appreciate your support again. I mean, I can't say that enough. And just keep creating, or keep doing your thing, all right? Stay positive, and peace, all right?